Hey folks, it's been a while and I've been trying to help organize our wedding with my partner in the middle of a bloody pandemic, and that is taking a toll on us. And as a result, the rate of videos has gone down a lot. I apologize. We're gonna get back to normal after October, I think. Well, I don't know about the pandemic, but maybe the video rates. But super short video today. I'm trying to do this in one take. There was recently in one of the Facebook groups that I follow, a topic came up where somebody wanted to say that sexual assault is okay for the table if you are trying to run a dark, gritty campaign. It's your table, your rules. Now, while I do strongly believe in your table, your rules, what this guy never mentioned and then argued against is that you need player consent in order to do this. Without your player's consent, you shouldn't be doing this. However, I think I understand what this person was getting at, even though I do not agree with them. What they were trying to say is that if we are not lazy DMs, which hopefully we're not, we need to show our players that there is evil in the world and this person is doing evil or that person is doing evil. And since we are mostly adults in this channel, and when I'm playing with my friends, we're all adults, it takes a lot more than just the orcs are evil for them to feel motivated to go act against the orcs. Yes, they will, because they know that's where the plot is. They're gonna play along. But it is definitely more satisfying when you see the orcs or whoever the bad guys in your campaign are committing evil acts. And as sad as it is, and as dark and horrifying as it is, sexual assault is one of the things that happen in the very world we live in. It's disturbing, it's traumatic, but it's there. It's part of the evil. However, it is very important that we understand that even though that there is evil in our world, it does not need to be in the forefront. For instance, in my world, I have taken inspiration of evil from real-world Nazis. Joseph Mengele, for instance, he was a horrifying character. If you are squeamish and are afraid of body horror, do not look him up. He was known as the Angel of Death. Disgusting acts. So part of that I have put in my game. There was a UNT doctor who were doing similar kinds of experiments as Joseph Mengele from the real world on their slaves and things like that. But most of it was implicit. Similarly, there is sexual assault in my game, and there are evil people who are committing these kinds of horrific nonsense, and it is there. It motivates our players to stop these people. But the act of these horrifying things are implicit. It's in the background. We just gloss over it. It never comes to the forefront. It should never come to the forefront, especially because you do not know what kind of traumas there are in your players' backgrounds, in their lives. You have not lived their life. You do not know. We need to be very, very mindful about evil. I think this is going to be a whole series of videos in the future about how to handle evil at your table, because it is very important that we take this seriously, because it is an inherent part of the game. Monsters are evil. There are evil villains and NPCs. Vampires are evil. Curse of Strahd, very dark. But it is, I think, pretty well presented in the sense how the horror is in the background. It's there, it's in the background, it's weighing heavy on your players, it's motivating them to go stop the bad guy, but you don't need to see that. You don't necessarily need to go into excruciating details of that. I think it's very important that we respect that boundary. Also, this brings up another point, like why you need a session 0 when you're trying to do something new. I have ideas of wanting to run an evil campaign in the future, but even before I have planned anything in the campaign, I have planned a session 0, where we're going to talk about, like, hey, what are the boundaries? What are we not going to do? And what needs to be done. If you watch one of Matt Mercer's earlier on DM advice ones, he says that comfortable evil is the best evil. And I like that. That is very true. You need to make sure that when there's evil and adult content, just not just evil, it could be any kinds of adult content. You just need to make sure that everyone is comfortable at the table. Now, I know that these kinds of things like rape and like murder and like terrible acts of horrific atrocities are very popular with many groups of people. I'm not here to judge them and tell them that they're wrong because, for instance, it's popular with most people because just look at the TV shows that we watch today. One of the highest rating things are probably have a lot of that. You know which one I'm talking about. I'm not going to go into it because then the whole discussion is going to go sideways. So people like that. But what we need to realize is that we are not here to generate TV ratings. We are here to entertain our players. So know your table. Talk to your players. You cannot just spring this on your players. They have to be forewarned. And then if everybody wants sexual violence and body horror and vivisections, then knock yourself out. That's it, folks. That's all I have to say about this topic. But there's a lot more. There's a lot more nuances and in detail discussion that needs to happen about this. But I am going to think about it and I'm going to come to you and present my opinion. And hopefully you will present your opinion back to me like we always do. But right now, I think this was my immediate reaction. I felt a little worked up about this topic. Like, hey, this is not something you can spring on your players. That is not an okay thing to do. So I wanted to make this video also just to stay in touch with all of you so that you know that the channel's not going down. It's there. My life is just very busy right now. I have to figure things out and get time out more for the channel. That's it. Until next time.